Listen up, everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful, so let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. Alright everyone, let's get on top of this.
Hello everyone, my name is Nunu. Today we're back with F1 2018 going with the Singapore Grand Prix. And as you just saw there, we have a regulation change for next season. It's the aero department, and we have only purchased 5 things. So there's only 5 things that we have to adapt, which is not too much to be honest. But it'll cost a little bit in our bank, but it always will with the regulation changes coming into practice. We had a bit of a crash here. Nico Hulkenberg smashing into the side. I've actually seen that a couple of times before on YouTube. And his teammate coming alongside him and crashing into Nico Hulkenberg, who crashed out. So double DNF for them in the practice session. We're going to purchase a bit more of the new next season things. But let's just get into qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix.
It's time for us to settle down and the drivers below to get fired up. Once again, welcome to Singapore as we get ready for the green light and the start of what should be a fantastic qualifying session.
So, coming into qualifying, we are running a very, very high drag in comparison to all the AI, because I like to run very high drag, I like high downforce, you can pull out the confidence with it. And coming down to our first lap, coming over the line, it is going to be 138.8. I want to improve that. We go for another round. We get a 138.4, a bit better. And we actually want a bit more downforce because the car felt a bit understeery in some of the slow corners. Maybe should have put a little bit more rear ballast, but at the end of the day we don't. So we lose a lot of time on the straights, and the rest of the lap was just shit. So coming over the line for disappointing 14th place, but our teammate Fernando Alonso in 3rd place. Sadly, he has 10 grid place penalty because of engine changes. But let's just see what we can do in the Singapore Grand Prix.
As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay Circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight.
So, taking a look at our strategy, we're going to go from ultra soft to hyper soft. Reverse of pretty much everyone else on the grid, going from hyper soft to super ultra soft, which might be a better strategy, we don't know. But pulling on to the grid for 5 red lights for Singapore, you can see Alonso, our teammate, right in front of us there. Of course, he had the engine penalties coming into 5 red lights, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. We get off to an okay start there. Stroll getting off to an even better start. He's side by side with us coming down to T1. There's a Toro Rosso going down between us as we get a bit of oversteer. We managed to save the Toro Rosso. Very, very aggressive start from him there, almost smashing into the back of Ericsson, who goes side by side with Roman Grosjean. Nothing really happens until later on lap 1 down at the Anderson Bridge, where we go down the inside of Marcus Ericsson. Can he hold it around the outside? No, he can't. He tries. He has lower drag. He slipstreams us. He tries to go down the inside. We make contact. Can we give it around the outside? No, we don't. We go for the good old switchback move. But at the end of the day, he gains position on us after. Oh, and forgot, but same place a lap after we go down the inside of Marcus Ericsson at the Anderson Bridge, but this time we get him as he gets slipstream down the long straight. He goes around the outside, but we squeeze him out and he doesn't get us going down the inside of Esteban Ocon on lap number 3 as Marcus Ericsson trying to get involved. He's trying to gain positions. Sorry, it was Perez, but Perez, they're losing 2 positions in just 1 corner as Marcus Ericsson tries to go around the outside. Very aggressive today. They're pretty dramatic first laps, but he gains position on us again. But this one, I don't know why I didn't get an illegal overtake, but you know, I'll take it. At the moment, out in the front, we have Sebastian Vettel, the title leader at the moment, who's leading the race over his teammate Kimi Räikkönen. Right behind him, you have the Renault of Nico Hulkenberg. How did he get up there? And right behind the Renault, you have a Renault engined power, which is the Red Bull Racing of Daniel Ricciardo, and then a double Mercedes duo, of course. Talking about the top teams, we have Ricciardo, Hamilton, and Vettel pulling into the pits, which is going to start a bit of a pit strategy thing. I think they're going to pull in for the Ultrasoft to run the rest of the race. As we gain position to go to 7th place, of course, the pit rounds are here. As Grosen there right in front of us pulls into the pits as well. Now we're behind Magnussen, who we go down the inside of. We have, of course, way higher downforce than him, so we have to utilize that. Can he hold it down the inside? He squeezes us out to the wall, but can we keep it around the outside with 150 kilometers per hour coming down to the good old Singapore sling? Yes, we can, and up into first place at the moment we actually go because everyone else has pitted. But right behind us we have the two Toro Rossos who hasn't pitted as well, and provisional leader Sebastian Vettel is probably going to take the victory. You can't even see the cars behind him, but he's getting held up in traffic there. I think we have to look down the grid if we want to look anywhere. They're half a lap behind us. This is live pictures, by the way. They're half a lap behind us. We're going down the long back straight, so we might actually gain positions on them, just maybe. But we're going to go into the pits on lap number 8, but just before that we have Lance Stroll retiring for another race. He's been so unlucky. I think that Williams really needs more reliability. He's retired from so many races, and he still has 0 points on his board. This is not a good season for him at all, as we now on lap number 8 pull into the pits for the Hypersoft tires. Well, it was actually supposed to be on lap number 10, but we pull in on lap 8. And where are we gonna rejoin? We're dropping down the grid to 10th place at the moment. Leclerc coming around the corner, and we're coming out in 12th place. But is Magnussen coming around the first corner? It's just gonna pip us on the exit, so we actually lost time in the pits in comparison to him. But we have softer tires, we have higher downforce, we really have to catch him now. I pushed and pushed, we used high ERS modes all the time as we go down the inside of Kevin Magnussen. Can we keep it? No, we can't, but later we make a similar overtake to the one we did on Ericsson. Very, very weird. I don't know why we didn't get a legal overtake for that. At the moment we're just overtaking people. Of course, we have way more grip in these tires than they do on the old Ultrasoft tires. We are on new Hypersoft, which is a softer compound. As we go down the inside of Sainz, almost hit Bottas in the bumper, but luckily we don't. I actually think Bottas has had an engine issue the last couple of laps, so we had no trouble catching him and overtaking him coming on to the last lap. We have a very big moment here, as you can see. Just managed to save it and not spin out, so I just have to calm down right after that, because that was, Jesus, that was so close to going in the wall. If we would have done that, that would be very bad. But coming around the last corner, today's winner of Sebastian Vettel pulls out his title lead to 50 points as the firework lights up the sky and the streets of Singapore. We're coming around the last couple of corners of the moon to claim what I would say would be a well-deserved 6th place on the Hypersoft tires. We actually run out of fuel right at the end, but you know, shit happens.
Can't complain about that one. That was an excellent drive.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
So there you have it, guys. That was the Singapore Grand Prix. For 6th place, pulling home 8 points, which was pretty nice one, to be honest. Quite a good drive from 14th on the grid, right behind Alonso, who was out of the top 15. Disappointing performance from him. You of course have your race winner Sebastian Vettel taking home a lot of points today, and a good child lead. You have Fernando Alonso down to 16th place, and of course Lance Stroll, the only retirement of the race. You can see Sebastian Vettel leading with 50 points and 114 points, down to 3rd of Max Verstappen. We stay in 9th, Alonso stay in 11th. You still have the 3 lowest runners who has no points. In the constructors, nothing changes, and I guess nothing's going to change for the rest of the season. There's too much of a gap between people, and we've lost one of our rivalries leading the other one. Against Nico Hulkenberg we've lost, which is a very sad thing. And somehow we gain reputation for some teams. I don't understand the system, to be honest. I really don't. And coming around to adapt to the last part of the next season, that was only one episode it took to adapt all of those parts. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Singapore Grand Prix. I'll be back tomorrow for Russia, and I'll see you all then. Bye, guys.